disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, this week, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. Every other Wednesdays, you got the traditional way with Brett Shumway. And then once a month, you have, Extra Scoop with Peyton and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Joe, it's showtime. What's up, man? I threw it to you, man, and your volume went away. I think your microphone might have switched again. Our other partner, Angel Diaz, is not here. He's doing work at his second school. So there you go, man.
Thank God. So sick of this.
It did the switch again, right?
Yeah. It does it to me every time. Last week it didn't do it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I went to check it and it was all fine, so I don't know. When I don't look at it, it don't work. When I do look at it, it's fine. So who knows?
No, it was crazy, man. We were just talking before I hit, record, and it seems like at some point. Anyway,
Yeah, go
what's
figure.
going on, man?
You know what? Not a super busy week, but just a lot going on. My wife and I, we did the 4-hour training for teaching archery. That went pretty well. They brought in a lady from the NASPA, and she actually works for the DNR. And then the other lady was a teacher that retired and started doing this program. So you got two perspectives working together, because NASPA has their own rules, the National Archery Association, blah, blah, blah. They have all these rules, but then the other lady, she kind of was giving us the idea from a teacher standpoint, because she's like, okay, some of your rules, they work really well. Some of them don't always work in this kind of classroom setting. So it was a lot of information, but it all worked out pretty well. And we get to put it to good use tomorrow, being Wednesday. So
Okay.
and
Did you get the chance to shoot any arrows?
I did. I did pretty well. What's crazy? So I've been shooting right-handed my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And they do these tests to figure out like which eye is dominant, so which way you should be shooting. And it turns out, and I kept trying to fight it, that I'm left eye dominant. So I'm supposed to be shooting left. So I said I'll give it a try, and I did okay. I did just fine. Like, it didn't feel weird to me. I was shooting well, and so I'm gonna keep trying it. And apparently, when I'm doing archery, I'm left eye dominant. So.
Huh.
I've been shooting the other way the whole time. And there was two other people in the same situation as me who have shot from the right all the time, and they wouldn't switch. And I'm like, what's the big, if I try it and I don't like it, I'll just go back to shooting the way I did. But the first time I shot, I missed the target completely. And then after that, I started hitting the target, and then I was grouping the arrows pretty good. So once I got used to it, it really wasn't that bad.
Okay.
So I figured it couldn't hurt to try, and maybe I'll shoot better. Who knows? So we'll see. Other than that, we did go to Comic-Con right after that.
Oh, you did go?
And, yeah, we had a lot of fun over there. They had some good celebrities. I don't pay to see the celebrities, but I like to just walk around and see them, and say hi and just whatever. Make them feel uncomfortable sometimes.
Man, I'm I have not been to Comic Con much lately. Ever since 2020, I really I don't I don't know if I've been since 2020. I know we talked one time when we were doing Fiskis and Flicks, and maybe I might have went in 2021, maybe, or
Okay.
I don't I definitely don't remember going since me and Mel have been together. I don't remember going, but it's been a minute for me. But I could have went Saturday. I just didn't feel like it. I just
Yeah,
didn't feel
it's
like
not a
going.
far drive from us. It's a 10-15 minute drive.
Hmm.
Um, we get there about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Hmm.
Maybe we leave. It's open till 7. We probably leave after 3-4 hours. A lot of times we just walking around. We don't, like I said, we don't pay to go see celebrities, so you can only walk around for so many times, taking pictures of people and checking out all the booths before you're like, okay, I've had enough.
So, see, when I was a kid and I used to go because I was a comic collector. So I used to go to all the different comic stands and look to see if I could find, either a book that I always really wanted, or a book that I wanted to read, or a book that I thought was eventually going to be worth something. So that's what I did when I was a kid. When I got back into drawing, like maybe 2011, that's when I started going to go to the panels. So
Yeah,
a lot of times, there'll be other people there talking about either the comic book business, or how to market your comic, best ways to draw a comic. So I used to spend a lot of time just going to panel. I would go, like, I would get there about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, walk around a little bit, and when the panel started, you know, the panels are about an hour long. So I would do about three or four of those panels, in the afternoon, and then,
yeah.
get something to eat, walk around a little bit more, and then it's time to go.
We did one of the anime panels. This first time my daughter wanted to go, and they were showing episodes of this uh, anime that she really liked, and some of the actors were there talking about it, and they were doing the voices. It was cool. It
Okay.
was interesting. And actually, there was a lot of good costumes up there that weren't down on the floor. So I got a bunch more pictures. They had a She-Hulk walking around in like a pageant dress with the sash and everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
See, that's what my dad
uh,
likes. My dad likes to go and take pictures of all the people cosplaying.
yeah, they had some good cosplay. My daughter, like I said, the first year we went, she felt real weird. Like she made me ask people for pictures. Now she's like a pro. She because I tried to explain to her like these people don't dress up just to walk around and look silly. Like they're okay taking pictures. They're used to it. If they got a good enough cosplay, like they'll take pictures with you. So and then she gets people now that because she's been dressing up
Oh, really?
and everything. Yeah, so she gets people taking pictures with her. Now she gets it. She's like, she walks right up to people and it's like, hey, can I get a picture? Blah blah blah. Or I'll walk up and say, can I take a picture with you and my daughter? And then it works out really well. So she's getting more comfortable with that. And
Now,
we had a good time.
does she create her own comic uh cosplay costume, or does she go buy one?
No, she puts the stuff she likes, she puts together. I mean, she'll buy stuff, but like this one, she had to put together. It was Agatha all along.
Hmm. Was she
So
Agatha?
she did. Yeah, she
Okay.
put together. She has this. She made like a bolt that out of one of those string lights,
Hmm.
and so it looked like a bolt that she like of magic.
Hmm.
And then she got the trench coat and the shirt, and she made the medallion because we couldn't really find the medallion. And the place that said they had it, we're out of them. So her and my wife helped her make the medallion and the crown.
That has to be fun for her also, because she's an artist. So
Yeah.
making that type of stuff has to be fun for her.
Yep, they had a good time with it. And Aiden, he had a Deadpool riding a unicorn from Halloween. He just put that on, and he was counting how many pictures people took with him, and he said I got more pictures than you, huh? That little
so,
kid kills me.
so did you dress up also?
Nah, I was trying to put together a Chainsaw Man cosplay, and I just couldn't finish it in time. So I'm gonna save it for next year.
You said Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, you haven't seen Chainsaw Man yet?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Is that an anime?
Um, yes,
Okay, no,
it's
no, I
a
definitely.
really good anime, but it's crazy. The guy literally, he has a cord that comes out of his chest and he pulls it, and then the chainsaw is on his head and two chainsaws on his arms, and he
I gotta tell
just
you, man.
messes people up.
I don't mind some violence in comics and cartoons, but some of those anime stuffs are just ridiculous when it comes to violence. It's like,
Oh, this one is bad.
yeah, so like my limit on that type of stuff might be Deadpool because that's pretty gruesome. Deadpool is pretty
Yeah,
gruesome. That's probably like my limit. Like I don't really.
Deadpool's good though because it adds some humor.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But I mean, even the level of violence that they do, you'll see
Yeah,
somebody, get, stabbed, and you'll see the sword go all the way through the back, and they might slice them up, and the whole thing falls apart or something like that.
yeah.
But some of that anime stuff can get really, 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 really violent looking.
It's so
And gruesome.
funny to me because the Asian culture, they're so weird on stuff because they're like, we're okay with like violence and sex in our cartoons, but like in a movie, not so much.
Mhm.
It's so odd the way they do
Yeah.
that sometimes.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that was pretty much my week. I worked. I only worked a few days this week because I had so much going on the rest of the week, and then today, Monday was a holiday, and then my 2 days off, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I got a nice little reprieve.
Oh, so
Watch
you're
that Lions.
you're, you're
Oh,
you're pretty much refreshed then, huh?
yeah. I had something going on with one of my feet. So I was resting that up and icing that up. So that helped too.
Okay.
Other than that, man, I watched that Lions game the other day. But
Yeah.
every time, I'm telling you, every time I kept trying to watch it, they would start losing.
Uh
So I kept turning it off.
huh. Well, see,
And
I didn't do that.
all I watched was the last kick because I'm like, am I bad luck right now? Like, what is happening? Like I'd be looking, I'd be like, they're coming back. They're coming back. I'm gonna turn it back on. And I turn it back on and he throw another pick. I'm like, am I doing this? Am I causing this? Oh no, I'm gonna turn it off. I was like, I'm just gonna turn it off. And I was like, and then they're like, he's gonna kick that last field goal. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this field goal. If he misses this
you,
field goal,
you,
I'm never
you,
watching again for the rest of the season.
that is the point where you definitely, if you thought that you were jinxing him, then you should not have been watching when he
I
kicked that
know, but
last.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I couldn't believe what I was. I wanted to see Dan Campbell's face live. I didn't want to see it later. I wanted to
Uh,
watch it live because that's my
uh,
favorite part to watch. I didn't even watch the kick. I just watched his face. I'm like,
uh-huh.
and he doesn't even get it super excited. He just like a little smirk. He's like, yeah, that's how we do it. How do you throw 5 picks and win a game?
Yeah, what
That's
was funny?
insane.
I was thinking like, man, what is he doing channeling Matthew Stafford? That's what I was thinking when he was playing. But as I listened to as I listened to the radio this week, they were saying that the offensive line did not play as good as normal, and they were being penetrated, and that's why he was rushing his throws, and
Hmm.
that's why he was getting the picks. So, you know,
But
um,
I've seen him beat that blitz before like that. So I
mhm,
don't know. And the run, I knew. I said going into Houston was going to be a problem. I knew it was going to be a problem, but I thought it was going to be more like a shootout, not
mm,
a defensive game. Because ultimately, there
yeah,
wasn't that much offense between both teams. It was a defensive game. Now
yeah.
our defense at the beginning looked like terrible, and then all of a sudden, like they just turned it up. So I
Mhm.
mean, I'll take it, man.
Well, the
Like when
Lions
you can win a
they start off kind of slow like that. It's like they try and watch what their opponent is going to do, and they'll make adjustments as to how the other team is playing, and then the second half, it's like they're like a totally different team. They get
It's
warmed up,
crazy.
and I that defense, I think that defense, um, well, the defense and the offense, the defense both steps up and wears down the opponent's offense. And then also on the flip side, our offense will wear down somebody else's defense.
Oh,
Especially
100%.
especially if you go all out in the first 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters, if you go all out, the Lions are gonna pick it up with, I mean, because they just have so much speed from JMO to Gibbs, and then Montgomery is just so strong. Over time, man, you're going to start fatiguing. You're not going to be able to keep on going, going, going. Then you're so beat now trying to keep up with their running. Then they start throwing it to either Laporta or St. Brown or JMO,
Yeah.
also. And then other one, Nick Patrick. I think that's his name. I think it's
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick. That's right, Tim Patrick.
Yeah, he came
You
over
know,
from Denver because he was hurt all last season, and then Denver dropped
yeah.
him.
So they have a good team, man, and I they look like they should win the Super Bowl this year, but for some reason I keep thinking it's going to be next year.
Yeah, because you watch that win and the way they're winning games, and
I
then you
never
go and
seen
watch.
a Lions team win like that
Yeah, but
before.
you go and watch Kansas City. Did you see that game?
Well, they no, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it, and
They should have lost that game.
they
They
haven't
should have
been the
lost that
normal.
game, and they blocked the field goal. Like everyone's right now is just saying like we want it's going to be Detroit versus Kansas City
Well,
in the
well
Super
that
Bowl.
if that happens, that's a win in our column, I think, because we beat them last year. We beat them last year, the first game of the year. The Lions beat
Yeah,
them.
but I like them better without D Hop.
But also, I mean, we're a different team than last year. We're a lot
Oh,
stronger, it
100%.
look like, and a lot faster, and just mental toughness. I just, I think we could take them.
I do too.
I don't think I want to see them play against the Ravens, though. I don't think I want to see that because Derrick Henry, man, that boy is big and he's strong. Now I know
Yeah, I
he
know.
can't do the whole thing, everything himself, and I don't know how good their defense is. I don't,
So
I don't think.
their defense is really good, but they've been really good against the run and really bad against the pass about the last 6 games. Which I mean, I don't see them shutting down our running game.
Mhm.
So if we could just run a little bit on them and hit the play action, it'd probably be over. But yeah, I don't. They got too many weapons over there anyway. So
Yeah,
it'd be a fun game though.
yeah, yeah, would yeah.
How about you, man? How you been?
Oh man, I've been cool, man. Same old, just working and trying to put things together. Back to working out. Back on my normal schedule as far as working out. So I'm pretty
Oh,
sore
okay.
right now, man. I'm pretty sore, but I don't know, man. Ever since I've been plant based, my soreness is not like how it used to be. I'll be sore and I can feel it, but it's not to the point where I can't move. Sometimes when you work out and you work out really, really hard and you are just stuck and you can't move your joints or whatever, and everything is
Yeah.
just is stiff. I'm not like that. It's not that bad. So it's just a little, just letting me know that I worked out. Actually, that kind of soreness makes me feel good because now I know that I must have had a good session. If I
Oh,
can
okay.
feel it in my chest or my back or my biceps, my shoulders or whatever, so yeah, and I'm making sure that I get in between 15 and 20,000 steps throughout the day. So I'm really trying to just, lean out, man. Lean out. That's what I'm doing, man. And my meal plan is about in between 1,800 to 2,100 calories a day. So
Okay.
I stay within that between 5 meals. So yeah, man, everything's going good, man. So
Do you track everything, or do you just
yeah,
you
I
just
track
kind of
everything.
you
Mm-mm.
know how where you're at?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I
got to
track
start
it.
doing better about that because I've been trying to eat good,
Hmm.
but I'll tell you, man, like when it comes to like being hungry, I might say, oh well, this is good for me, so I'm just gonna eat more of it.
So this is
And
how
I
I
know
do it,
it's a
man.
problem. I know it's a problem. So
I use my Fitness Pal number one,
yeah, that's the
and
one I like too because you can
yeah,
scan stuff.
yeah, it's real simple. And also, man, I try to eat things that are simple. So like I don't care what nobody says. This is like how I want to do it. I pretty much can eat the same thing every single day
I
for
can too, actually.
every single meal except for dinner. Dinner is always different. But my breakfast is always the same: egg whites and oatmeal. Lunch always the same. I have a salad with some tuna in there, and today I started having a banana and peanut butter with it. After that, sometime right before I teach, I'll have a
How
plant
does
based.
tuna work for plant based?
Hmm? Oh, I'm not. I have fish.
Okay,
So yeah, so I'm not 100% plant. I haven't done that
that's still good though.
for
That's
years.
good.
Yeah, so I'll have tuna. I'll have salmon. And the reason I started doing that is because when I started working with my company that I work for now, and I would have meetings and dinners and stuff, man, and plant-based options weren't on the menu. you know,
Yeah.
so I was not about to sit there and just have a plate of sides and then try and figure out what I'm going to eat when I get back to my room or whatever. Um, so what I ended up doing is I looked online to see, who were what was the healthiest diet and who lived the longest, and it was a lot of people who had fish, you know, primarily plant-based diet, but people who also had fish and eggs. So that's what I've been doing, you know.
Okay, that's good though.
So yeah, it's because for a long time I was doing the just egg, which is fine, but man, those bottles are so little and they're so expensive.
I know
And
it's ridiculous.
yeah, I was like, I can't keep paying all this money for fake eggs, so I
Yep.
just went back to eating. I just went back to eating the regular eggs. But man, I
Yeah, I
still feel
do.
fine and good. So
I like the egg whites, but I mix mine with like spinach and maybe some ham or something like that,
hmm
or turkey, something
hmm
like that. And then I like to do my oatmeal, but I put some fruit and some nuts in there, so I like a little crunch in it,
yeah.
and that
So
works out pretty good. I can do that. That fills me up pretty good. And then I've been doing this yogurt, like a yogurt parfait with the plain yogurt, and then you put your fruit and the granola in there, and it works out
mhm.
pretty good.
so I couldn't keep doing what you're doing because, like I said, I want to make stuff as easy for me as possible, and that's why I eat the same thing every day. I don't have to think about it. If I know when I know lunchtime is coming, I know what I'm gonna have what I'm eating. I don't have to wonder, oh, what I'm gonna have for lunch today. I can't do that. So when I have a salad, I go to either Kroger or Meyer, Walmart, any of those places, and I get those salads that's already pre-made. It's already divided out in the macros. So I
Yeah,
already
my wife gets those.
calories. I already know how many calories it is. I already have the right amount of salad dressing, because you can go over your caloric information
Yep,
by not properly tracking that stuff, man.
of course.
So that's why I couldn't do like adding extra berries and granola and all that stuff because I know that I was not going to measure that shit out every single day.
No, I feel that. I feel you on that.
I was like, this is going to end horribly. I'm going to go over. So no. So like even my yogurt, like after we get off this, recording our show tonight, my snack, I'm gonna have popcorn, and I have a Greek yogurt, and then I'm done for the day. And my yogurt is made from Silk, Silk's the brand, so it's
Oh
non-dairy.
yeah,
Yeah, so I use that type of Greek. I like it, Greek.
I've never tried
So
that one. I'll have to give it. I'll have to see
yeah,
if I try that one.
yeah. So that's how I do it, man. But yeah, so that's going good, man. This weekend we didn't do too much. I can't really remember too much of Saturday. I know I didn't go. I didn't plan to go anywhere on Saturday. I don't think I did. I think I stayed home. I did. I definitely didn't watch that Michigan game.
Yeah, I didn't even
Did they
turn it
play?
on.
No, that was that this week or last week. They played Indiana
No, they played Indiana this past week.
this week. Yeah. So this week coming up, they have a bye, right?
I
Because
don't
they
even
haven't played
know.
Northwestern yet.
No.
They have to. They play Northwestern either this week or next week. They play Northwestern, and then it's Ohio State. So hopefully Northwestern, like I thought, man, this should be their only their only other win they're going to get because I don't think they're beating Ohio State. It'll be cool because Ohio State is consistently throwing shots at us, man. So but
I
they are
mean, that's
definitely going to
fine.
try to embarrass Michigan. They're definitely going to try and embarrass Michigan because
Oh, of
they're
course they are.
they're one of the top teams and Michigan is not even ranked. So they're probably going to run that score up if they can. So
Oh, Dave, that's all. Like I said, I sent you that.
yeah,
We run. rent free in their mind. But that's fine.
Well,
Go ahead.
it's been 3 years. They haven't won in 3 years, so
Okay, go win the championship and then come back and talk to me.
right.
Because I can tell you right now, that's not going to happen this year. They're not going to win that championship.
I don't think so. And man, it'll be it'll be funny if Michigan did beat them.
It'd be
I don't think
hilarious.
I don't think it would. I don't think it'll drop them down far because they lost to somebody else, and they didn't fall that far.
They lost to Oregon by 1 point and dropped down a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. But when Michigan lost to Texas, at that time, Texas was the number 1 team. We lost. We fell so far when that happened, and Texas is the number 1 team. I didn't get that. I didn't even understand how they started the year at number 7. Even though I don't understand. Like, how can you start it from how do you just place them there? They won the championship. Let them start at number 1 and then fall down until somebody beats them. How do you just automatically put them at 7?
Trying to figure out college football's way of doing things is good luck.
Yeah, man.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, even when they explain it, you go, oh, okay.
I never liked it. Especially back when it was just they decided who would play for the championship. They would just pick 2 teams randomly. I hated that. I was a little happy when they started doing the 4 team, but even still, I was like, this is not fair. Come on now, y'all not really. You guys have your favorites that they would pick.
Yes. Always.
Anyway, but other than that, man, you know what? I came home tonight after I got done teaching. I came home tonight, and Melissa's so excited about the holidays. The house is decorated. Now, I'm not sure if she's done.
I'm sorry. I am it's not till after Thanksgiving guy, and I will never change that.
The tree is up. The tree is up. I took pictures when I walked in. I was like, okay. Like, she asked me to bring the tree up. I didn't think she was going to put it up. So I brought it up.
What else would she ask you to bring it up?
Man, I thought that thing was going to sit in the living room for about, another 2 or 3 weeks. No, she put it up. So it's up. And not only that, she got the mantle decorated. And I know she's not done, though, because.
And when does that come down? That's what I want to know. When does that come down?
Well, it kind of depends. I'm
just asking because I'm like, if it's in the middle of January, so that's going to stay up for 3 months?
No, it's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's gonna stay up for 2 months. It's gonna stay because I don't see it coming down. It's not gonna come down the day after Christmas. It's gonna stay up through New Year's. I know that.
Yeah, I know that.
So,
but it's gonna be like mid-January. So like 2.5
probably like
months.
around now. Like probably right now, like January 12th. Around that time. It's gonna come. It's gonna come down. So. I don't care, man. This is my favorite.
There's a whole group of people like that, and then there's people like me after Thanksgiving.
After that, me. So when I lived with my parents, that was me and Trav's thing. Me and Trav used to put the Christmas tree up for my mom the Sunday after Thanksgiving. That was always the day that we put up the tree. So hey, she was excited, Fine, go ahead, put it up. She got all the characters up. But like I said, I don't think she's done because she wants to go to like places like Hobby Lobby and Home Goods, Yep. So she'll probably be getting some more things and decorating other rooms or different walls or windows and things like that. So all right, let's get to the movie now, man. So this week we are watching Big Trouble in Little China. When was the last time you saw this movie?
A long time ago, because I started remembering it, but I'm like, what in the world? Like, I couldn't tell. It was probably 90s.
So I saw this movie. It had to have been 2017 or 18, but I must have passed out at the beginning of the movie because I remember turning it on and watching. Right, I remember setting it up to watch it, and I knew I watched this movie before. Of course, I did in the 80s, a bunch of times in the 80s. But as far as when you start thinking about your recent memory, I was like, I couldn't have watched this. Like I would have remembered it a lot better than I'm remembering it right now. And it's this was a it was a weird movie, and weird in
Yes.
a good way, right? Weird in a good way because I have never seen a movie where the hero is also the comic relief. you know, Jack Burton was like supposed to be a cool guy, but
Well, this
he
movie
was
to
pretty silly.
me, oh, he was great because he
Yeah.
had so many one-liners in this movie.
Yes.
Kurt Russell, by the way, playing him. Um, this movie felt to me like if you took The Last Dragon and crossed it with Roadhouse,
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
because it had the goofy, kind of parody comedy
Hmm.
stuff, but it also had like some, out of this world stuff. But then it had that same comedic feel that you got from Roadhouse, where it was just like stupid one-liners and just kicking ass the whole movie,
Hmm.
you know.
You, you know what was
And that's what
also
Jack Burton.
this was nothing that we planned. Nothing. Like we pulled this out the last
Yeah.
second last week when we decided what we're going to watch, right? What I'm about to say is deep, and I don't know if you thought about this. I don't even think Angel thought about this, but do you know where this movie takes place?
No, where's that place?
It takes
Los
place in
Angeles.
no, it takes place in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's almost 100 years later from Warrior.
Oh really?
Yes,
That's crazy.
right. So
That's
this is the
crazy.
yeah, Warrior takes place in the
Yep.
1870s around that time, and this is 1986 around that time. So this is like 110 years later. So as I'm thinking, like, wow, man, I'm looking at the seasons like this. So this is Chinatown, like all those characters that we were just looking at from the
Yep.
past. They're long gone at this point in time. And this is the area that they were walking around and fighting with all the tongs and everything. So that was pretty interesting, just from comparison. Um, Also, there's a few martial artists. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are a few actors who have played in a lot of martial arts movies
Yes.
in this movie. You know, the granddad from Three Ninjas is in it. Lo Pan, he's been in a lot of movies that we've seen. The guy that
Yes.
played Lo Pan.
Tons.
Hmm. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, Joe, but when you were a kid, did you hear that one of these characters that was on the storm team was was supposed to be Raiden? When Mortal Kombat
He
came out in the
he gave
90s,
me Raiden vibes.
in the 90s when Kombat came out, I remember people saying to me, "This is the guy from Big Trouble in Little China." I was like, "Oh, really? This is that character?" I'm like,
Well,
"Okay, well,
he had the hat and he
yeah,
had
he had the hat.
lightning,
Yep,
so it made
yeah,
sense.
yeah." And think about that. This is early 90s. There's no internet for us, so you couldn't
Yep.
double check when somebody said something. You just had to take their word for it.
True. True.
And that was something that I heard in different groups of friends. So I just always thought that was supposed to be rated. So when I watched the movie this time, I was specifically listening out to see if they called him Raiden. They don't call him Raiden at all. I don't think
No.
they gave him a name at all. I know that
I
one guy
don't
they
think that,
called
yeah,
Thunder. One guy they called Thunder, the Thunder guy. They called him Thunder, but they never gave him a name or the other guy a name.
no. Um the movie starts off with this character Egg Shen, played by Victor Wong, and
Hmm.
he's talking to, I guess, someone who's going to represent him, like a lawyer,
Hmm.
and he's trying to find out exactly what's happening. And they start talking about like magicians and magic, and the lawyer's like, "Well, do you believe in that stuff?" And he goes, "Of course I do." He goes, "Well, what proof do you have?" And he actually like creates
Yeah.
a lightning, like a thing of lightning, some kind. And he's like, "That's just the tip of the iceberg." But then he never uses that ever in the movie ever again.
No.
Like, what is that? What the heck? I
You know
just
what? I just
That made
realized
no
you
sense
you
to me.
just you just said something else that happened in this movie that didn't make sense. And I
A
don't mean to
lot of
skip
stuff
ahead.
happened that didn't.
I'm
That's
about, I'm
fine.
about to skip ahead a little bit. Uh, there's a point in the movie where he gives them everybody a drink to drink,
Yeah, yeah. What was that?
and it's supposed to give them special powers or something. And I would have thought they would have explained, oh, I can do this now because I drunk that drink. I could, fly, or all of a sudden I have, I don't know, super, super breath, and I can make people freeze or blow somebody back or something like that. No, no, nothing. They don't even explain it. We don't see any signs that these guys have any type of special power, but he told them that was the secret to them winning. He's like, I have this juice, and we didn't see any special fighting happen. They didn't start fighting faster or kicking
It,
higher or anything.
it almost felt like Space Jam, where they gave him Michael's special stuff. Just
Oh
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
placebo, just a placebo to make them feel good, like they could
Mm-hmm.
win. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but yeah. I mean, like I said at the beginning, you meet this egg Shen. He's talking about craziness that we don't know what's going on, and then it goes right into the hero of our story, Jack Burton, Kurt Russell, and he's in a big old pickup truck. Um, I
The
guess he
Pork
named his
Chop
truck
Express.
the Pork Chop Express, and he's literally just mowing on this big sandwich, and he's talking on the radio like he's doing a radio broadcast. But
Yeah.
the only people that can hear him are the ones who have the truck radio.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know who his audience is, but he's just talking and giving out his wisdom, I guess.
I think truckers probably did that back in the day, man. Having a CB or whatever, just randomly talking to each other on the different channels and stuff, and
Yeah, it was
just
funny.
and
It was
sit
just
and just sitting there
interesting.
listening.
So he was talking like it, and then he pulls into Chinatown and he unloads his truck, and then he sits down with this group of guys that I guess he knows them all, and they're like betting on something. I don't even know what they're betting on.
Mm-mm.
They take some chopstick. He puts a plate down and he hits the plate, and I don't even know like what they're betting on, but apparently whatever they were betting on, Jack Burton won, and it's a buddy of his. Is it Wang Chi? And I guess they know each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it almost seems like they're kind of trying to rip each other off or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack wins a large amount of money, and Wang's freaking out. He wants to win it back. He's like, "What do you say? Double?" He said, "Nothing or double."
Yeah.
He's saying
Yeah.
it backwards. He's saying
Yeah.
nothing or double, nothing or double. So he comes up with this game where he's gonna chop this glass bottle, like a beer
Mm-hmm.
bottle, and for double or nothing. And yeah, it doesn't work out in his favor. So
Right.
now he's like, okay, follow me back to here, and I'll get you your money. And Jack's like, no, man, I'm gonna drive you there. And then somehow they don't even go to wherever he's supposed to go to. He's supposed to go to a restaurant to pick up the money. No, he has them go to the airport to
Yeah.
go pick up his fiance.
Yeah. He told him that he spoke about that, and I think
Yeah,
they were
but
supposed to.
I thought he was going to go get his money. What is he
I thought
going
he was
to?
going.
Now
I
he's a
thought
taxi driver.
no, no. I think he was going to get his girlfriend first, and then they were going to get the money. Because of course,
Okay.
yeah, because he was in a rush to leave. He was like, I gotta go. Like now, I have to go. He said he had to pick her up. So I just assumed that that was the plan. Get her first, and then go.
Okay, I guess I missed that because it seemed to me like he was like ready to get his money and then hit the road. But then he's like, let's go pick up your fiance and work on that. So they're waiting, and for whatever reason, like Jack gets distracted very easily, especially by a pretty lady. But also, like out of the corner of his eye, he starts noticing like different things, and like he's got this spidey sense for danger or something.
Hmm.
It was just really weird out of
It was
nowhere.
very weird. Like, why would you even be paying attention? I mean,
Now
I
I
don't know.
will say there was three guys that just looked out of place, and this is where I started getting the Last Dragon feel, because this looked like the guys at the door who are like singing and like the
Are
giant
you
Jay and the Silent Bob kind of guy. It's like they got weird glasses on. Yeah, they were just out of place, man.
The guys that were at the fortune cookie place that you talking about.
Yes, that's the vibe they gave me. And I mean, like I said, they just look out of place. They don't look right. The one has, I don't even know if you call them sunglasses because they look like bug eye glasses that are shut. And they look like trouble, and they do. They cause trouble. They, for whatever reason, they snatch up his fiance. We got no explanation what's going on. This lady that Jack was trying to talk up, she snatches another girl, but apparently she's saving her from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And, Jack gets in a fight and kind of basically gets his butt kicked a little bit. And then he's trying to just figure out what's going on, but now he's got to help his buddy go find his fiance.
Yeah.
And this is just where everything just pretty much goes wrong.
Yeah. I was confused as to how did those guys know that Wayne's girlfriend was coming into town?
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, okay, so basically tell them why she got captured. Why they got her? Because I want to go somewhere after that.
So Dave Lopon is he's the main bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, and this is played by James Hong, like you said, we've seen the guy in a million different things. In fact, the last one we just saw him he played the grandfather/father in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and he was in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
I know your favorite movie. Yeah. So he is like this ghostly entity who's trying to make his way back to the regular world. He wants to be flush again. He doesn't want to be a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs a green-eyed Asian woman, is from what I understand, which is rare.
No, just
a green-eyed woman.
Just a green-eyed woman.
Okay, but they say that's rare. And when is it? What is rare about a woman who has green eyes?
I don't know, because my wife has green eyes, so
that's what I'm saying. Okay, for whatever reason, this guy. So he's snatching up all the green-eyed women.
No, he died. He's not, because think about, what did he say? He said he had waited 2,000 years to find someone. That's some bad looking.
But at one point, he had two of them, and he had been going through some other ones that didn't work out.
Oh, now I missed that part. I didn't know that.
That's the way I understood it, because he kept saying he's been trying. But the crazy thing is, he has this ritual where he has to marry this person, and then he needs their blood to bring him back to the world of the living.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, wrap your head around that.
And somebody put a spell on him, correct? He did something in the past, and that's why he was in this state. But still.
Well, the fiance's name is Mao Yin. The reporter, what's the reporter's name? Is it Gracie Law? Is that the reporter?
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Gracie. Yeah.
Okay, so she somehow knows about this whole thing. They don't really explain how she knows. So they're trying to get information from her, and then Egg Shen knows what's going on as well.
Yeah, so I think she hangs out in Chinatown, and she's a lawyer. I think because Wayne says that at the beginning of the movie, that's when they saw her. I think he says that she's a lawyer, and they know of each other. But even though they didn't speak at the airport, but they know each other. And she was there to get pick some other girl up, and that was weird. So then, because next thing you know, these guys grab Wayne's girl and they run out, but then all this commotion starts happening.
Tons, all kinds of commotion. But then they're assuming that this is some gang related thing. That's what Wayne comes up with. So now they're racing down to Chinatown to steal her back because they think the gang is trying to traffic her.
Mm-hmm.
So when they get when they get back to Chinatown, which by the way, he is driving through Chinatown on sidewalks in a big semi truck.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have the trailer on, but still,
Right.
like he's beeping, pushing people out of the way. And then like he gets to this dead end alley and these two gangs just come out of nowhere.
Yes. And that's when I started thinking about Warrior. Because they were
Yes.
tongs and they were rival gangs. And I was like, huh, I wonder if
The
this is
highway and the
descendant.
long Z.
Yes, I wonder if these are the descendants of those guys. They're still fighting. Damn. After all
The funny,
these
you
years.
know what's funny? Because this was actually a good fight scene for, even though it got a little crazy. But this was my favorite part of this is because all I could think of, you're talking about Warrior. I see Gerard Okamoto, and I start thinking Ninja Turtles. Tatsu.
I never ever thought about it. But this movie did seem like it was supposed to be, and it's not. But this movie did seem like it was supposed to be a spoof of another movie. Like this seems like it's supposed to be Spaceballs. Like Spaceballs
Yeah.
was a spoof of Star Wars. This seems
Yep.
like it was supposed to be a spoof of some other movie, but it's not a spoof.
No, I think they wanted serious martial arts, but there was like they wanted your hero to be like this wisecracking,
Mhm.
do-gooder, and then they just had to add these weird creatures.
Yeah. This, you know what, man? This is more of a martial arts movie than a lot of stuff that we watched, right? But
Yes.
it did not seem like a martial arts movie. Even though I had martial arts in it, it didn't seem like a martial arts movie because of the comedy and because our hero wasn't a martial artist. He wasn't a fighter. He's just a truck driver. That's all he is
Okay,
a
but
truck
he's
driver.
a truck driver who can fight, but all he's carrying around is a knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even a big knife, not
No.
a Bowie or anything.
Mm-mm.
It's got this
No.
regular old knife.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wayne.
I kept thinking, like, who are you, Peter Pan?
Yeah. Wayne is the fighter, the martial artist. Wayne is the martial artist.
Yeah, but
And
he
every fight
waited.
scene is a martial arts fight scene. It's all martial arts. It's all karate
Yeah,
or whatever.
but Wayne didn't do any real fighting until halfway through the movie.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, when was he supposed to fight? Because he knew those he wasn't
During
going to
this,
get in those that
oh
had nothing to do with him. They were in the truck. Remember, they had just
yeah,
drove
yeah,
right through the middle of this gang fight between these two groups, and then next thing you know, three people come down from the sky.
yes. Who, by the
I
way,
would have
are
left.
dodging. They're not even dodging bullets. The bullets just aren't hitting them. That are being
Yeah,
shot at them, and then they start just
they get out
using
the
all
car and
kinds
run.
of magic.
No.
No, those
First,
guys do, but
no,
the
yeah,
the wizards or whatever you want to call them, they got lightning and they're throwing
yeah,
knives. They
yeah.
got weapons. The one
Mhm.
guy has back scratchers. The other guy is spinning forks. I don't even know what he's
Yeah.
doing. It's just
But
like,
they didn't jump out the car. They started driving the truck first, and
yes,
then Lil Pan shows up, and they run him over. That as a kid, that was always a funny scene to me. The way that
it's
they did that,
hilarious.
because that was not CGI, but it looked so fake and stupid. Like it looked ridiculous the way they ran him over, and they're freaking out because they just ran the guy over, and they look back and he's behind them now, and he's still alive.
They also made him look like 7 feet tall, even though he's just
Yeah.
a hunched over old man.
Yeah. So I don't think I would have got out of the car and ran, but I would have gunned it. I wouldn't have just been sitting there looking. I would have got the hell out of there though.
Well,
But
then
they ended up leaving the truck.
he starts screaming and blue coming out of his eyes and his
Yeah.
mouth, and all of a sudden Jack can't even see, and it was just a hot mess. He
Yeah.
was he's trying to figure out what's going on. Like I said, Wang knows a little bit of what's going on, but he's just trying to get to his girl. Then they start talking about the lawyer and trying to figure out, what her part is in all this. And
Well, she
the
kind of
other
just
thing,
shows up. She kind of just shows up at that little, what's it, restaurant, bar, whatever that place was.
well, I think it was a front because that's where all of a sudden Jack gets this idea where he's gonna go Scooby Doo and put on a costume
Mm-hmm.
and play a character,
Mm-hmm.
like he's looking for some company,
Yeah.
but he wants one of the new girls.
Yeah. And what was stupid is, oh, you talking about that part? Okay, okay. No. I was talking about Egg's restaurant where they kept going back
Oh
to meeting up in. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that part though, Joe. That man, that was a brothel. That was a brothel. That was,
yes,
one of those places that was in Warrior. And I was thinking
yeah,
like, man, they
true.
still got that. They still got this going on. 110 years later, they still doing
But the
this.
the wizard guys showed up and
Hmm.
come through the ceiling this time and took the other girl.
Yeah.
Or yeah, because it wasn't his fiance, right? They already had the fiance. So who did they take this time?
Um.
They took the
Crap.
other girl, right? The one that was with
Gracie. I don't know. I thought Gracie got her out of there. They did come take a girl. Oh, you know
was it
what? No, no,
Tara?
no, no,
Tara.
no, no, no. I think it was the girlfriend. It was
Oh, okay, so that's where they were
Lopan
keeping
and the
her.
no, Lopan and I think it was a different group who kidnapped her
Oh,
because
okay.
I think Lopan and them came and got her from those people that originally took her.
They were working for
Yeah,
Lopan.
I
Okay, that
believe
makes
so.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So now they're creating this plan, and during this plan, they get caught up, and they basically Wang and Jack get taken by the crazy people and taken to Lopan, but they're taken to Lopan when he's not Lopan anymore. Now he's just an old guy in a wheelchair. Kind of looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, that has to suck. He's a shriveled up old man who's been living for 2,000 years. He wants to be young again. He wants to get his body back.
Yeah, and I don't even for some reason they're using wheelchairs to travel these guys around these tunnels underneath Chinatown.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that either.
Yeah, the whole thing was kind of odd, and they escape and they get to back with Egg Shen, and the whole group gets together and they come up with a plan to kind of rescue everybody and take down Lo Pan. But Egg, so Wang Chi and John just want to save the fiance. Egg has been wanting to take Lo Pan out for a long time. So in his plan, he needs uh the ceremony to go through,
Hmm.
which I know can't sit well with the fiance, because why would Wang be okay with his girl being married to this old dude and then possibly being killed? Because they kept saying that she had
Yeah,
to be killed.
yeah.
Now that never happened. He took her blood, but I mean, that's a lot to put and to trust in this old dude that you just met.
Well, I mean, I guess Wayne was like, "Look, we're gonna kill." I mean, I guess Egg was like, "We're gonna kill the guy anyway. It's not like this marriage is going to last. They're not signing any paperwork. How legit is this marriage anyway? So
Yeah, I
don't
know. I'm
really
just saying,
don't
man.
really worry about that."
He was taking that better than most people I think would have.
Hmm.
Now, for them to go back and forth through this dimension, I guess it seemed to be two ways. There was an elevator they could take down, and it only went down, but they also got there by going through like a sewer pipe.
Hmm.
So,
Well, I
I
think
mean,
they were in the sewer when they were leaving. When they escaped, that's how they escaped.
yeah, but then they
They,
went back.
they did go back, but I don't remember them going back through the sewer.
No, they went back through the elevator. Oh yeah,
Yes,
you're
and then
right.
They went down, yeah, and because that's when they got separated because Gracie gets kidnapped, and also the other girl, there she had an assistant or something with her, and they got
Well,
kidnapped, and they got put in cages, and they so now they had to rescue them at the same
yes,
time.
but who was the one that got attacked by that weird beast thing? Because that's the first time we see
That
these.
was Gracie
Yeah, that's
when
what I
she got
thought.
grabbed. When she got grabbed by her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got grabbed by her hand and snatched it. But that wasn't at that point. That was after because she got rescued, or was that that same time when she had got
No,
taken out of that
because
cage?
at that point, Lopan said she had green eyes too. So he was
Yeah,
putting her as the potential wifey as well.
yeah.
I mean, he had her dressed up for the ceremony and everything. I don't know how he chose who was going to be the right one. Like, he must have.
I don't see what the purpose of was for marrying both of them. That didn't even
Me
make
neither.
sense. They didn't
I
explain it.
They didn't explain it at all.
No.
But I mean,
Maybe Lopan
whatever, I
thought he was about to
guess.
have a threesome. He's like, "Look, man, I'm about to get my body back. One woman ain't enough. I need a couple of them, and they gotta have green eyes."
He's just getting greedy at this point.
Well, no, I mean probably because one had to die, and if one dies, he's not about to, he's not about to have his honeymoon with the dead one. So he
Well,
needs one alive.
now he did like have this weird ceremony where his minions were doing like swords and almost like Mortal Kombat, you know,
Mhm.
demonstration. And he said that the one passed the sword test. So maybe that's how he chose which one had to die. But because I didn't understand that, I didn't get it. But it was might have been the way he picked who was the right one or not. Because he did say she passed the sword ceremony, but I didn't see where she passed anything. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really odd. There's a lot going on.
A lot of confusing
Uh,
stuff was going on.
yeah, there's a lot that made sense, and then there was just a lot that was confusing, and I think some of it just, like all of a sudden, we're getting towards the end here. They're all showing up in this weird floating crane-looking thing with four eyeballs and an eyeball.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah, that thing.
just what was that?
It was
What
like
was like?
it was like Lopan security, because
Oh,
whatever it saw, Lopan knew, so he could see it in his head. So I don't
oh,
know.
okay, so but it wasn't powerful. Like they took it
No,
out later with just a knife.
yeah, yeah. It was just Lopan's, his extra eyes, and a
But that
lot of
thing
those
had eyes
things
everywhere.
a lot of those things look like they were created like by Jim Henson's Muppet Shop or whatever. Because that monster that grabbed Gracie by the head and yanked her in, that looked like one of those creatures. It looked like one of the Toka and Razor from the Turtles movie. It looked
Yes,
like one of those
something
things,
like that.
Yeah.
So, like you said, they Egg gave them all this special potion. We don't know what it did because it didn't seem to do anything. They have the final battle with all the minions uh, and everything like that. Wang, he does all kinds of flips and kicks,
Oh,
and he
yeah,
kind of
that was
shows his
stupid.
strength.
He
I know.
never showed any sign of having any type of magical powers or special fighting powers. But when he fights one of these storm guys, he's fighting up in he's jumping up in the air, he's swinging a sword, they're having a sword battle. It
Yeah,
reminded me of, didn't that happen in Hero at some point? Was that movie Hero that they just
yeah.
kind of just started doing all of this extra crazy kung fu movie type stuff that
You gotta
they didn't explain how these people are able to do this stuff.
you gotta make it good for the last part, man. Because
I
my
actually,
favorite,
I think the movie kind of fell apart at the end. That's what I think. Like I was with the movie for most of it, but the end just seems like somebody was just too high, and they were on a tight deadline. They had to get something done, and
the
they
end
just
was pure chaos. The whole
yes,
movie was leading up to pure chaos. Let's be honest, because Lopan Lopan did his little ceremony, got his body back, and once he got his body back, Jack Burton goes to fight him. He completely fakes him out, and then he takes that knife that he's had the whole freaking time and finally uses it. He throws it right at the dude's head
I've never seen
and kills
anybody.
him.
I've never seen that happen ever. You can throw a knife and hit somebody in the skull, and it's going to pierce their skull and go right through and get
I
stuck
mean,
in their head.
if you throw it hard enough and you know what you're doing, but I don't know, man. I agree. It
You
was a
have to be
lot.
an expert knife thrower to throw something like that and get it stuck in somebody's head. And like we said, Jack
Uh,
Burton was just a truck
Pork
driver.
Chop Express, man. He's throwing knives all day. What are you talking about?
Hey, another thing that I never understood when him and Wayne got out of the truck at the beginning, kind of beginning of the movie, and they ran away from Lopan. Why would Lopan and his crew steal that truck?
Yeah, why? You're right.
why,
Why would they?
why would they take the truck? There
That
was
did not make any
there
sense.
was no trailer, there was nothing in it. There was no reason to take the truck. And
No.
they took the truck and put it in a garage. Like, this
Maybe
is
he
ours
was
now.
pissed off. Maybe he was just pissed off because he hit him. So he's like, I'm taking your truck.
I guess. I guess, man.
It was odd. Um, I mean, that was basically, everybody pretty much is done. They win. They go to the truck and escape with the truck. And they drive out of this world with the truck. I don't even know how they figured that out, but it is what it is. And
they
you
ended up
know,
fighting all of the guys, all the storm guys, man. One guy just exploded when he saw that Lopan was dead. He just made himself big, and he I always thought that he looked like a Garbage Pail Kid. Remember
he
those, the
did.
Garbage Pail Kids? He just blew himself up until he was just real huge and fat, and then he just exploded for no reason. He
He was
was like
sacrificed himself because he was so sad. He was trying to take everybody with him, I guess.
the one lightning guy. He, the whole something fell down on him, right? The ceiling fell in on him
Yep.
because because they were trying to escape out of this hole to get out of this castle or whatever it was, and
Yeah, I don't even know what you could call it. Castle. That works.
whatever
Underground
this
layer.
building was, whatever this thing was that they were in. And then another guy,
Underground.
Wayne beat the other guy because he stabbed him with a sword or something and got him up out of there. So yeah, and then at the end of the movie, you would think most movies would have Jack and Gracie get together and they're gonna kiss and hug. He treated her like an asshole. He was an asshole to her.
She was talking about moving into the truck. She was like, "Oh, we'll extend the cab and we'll have this little life together." And he's like, "I'll think about it." And he just gets in the truck and starts his little radio show or whatever
Yeah,
he's
then they
gonna
say
do.
like, "Aren't you even gonna say goodbye to her?" He was like, "No." He just left. He just left. He just left. Right, and then he just got back onto his CB and just started talking
And then
again.
they did leave it kind of open for a sequel because there was a monster in the back of his cab. He
Yeah,
didn't have
but
anything else. And just
yeah, but
all of a sudden, that's how they ended it.
yeah, but that monster was an idiot. It's not like he could take over be the new Lopan. So I don't know
Yeah,
how
I know.
much how much movie you did with that guy. So I
I
don't know,
don't know if
man.
there was a sequel to this or not.
No, there wasn't. If it
Thank
was,
God.
it was straight. It went straight to uh,
I'll bet you there was some.
VHS. But no, I don't think so, man. But back in the day, in the '80s, they really didn't do that a lot. It wasn't like only really popular things in the '80s got sequels like uh Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Star Wars, Superman. But a lot of they didn't keep doing it like they do now. Everything now it seems like has either a reboot, a remake, or a continuation of that original story. And they don't think they did that too much back then. So all right, man. What great
It looks like that Kurt Russell has been approached about doing a sequel, and he has conditions. I'm looking at right now for a
what are
big.
the conditions? I mean, he's
I
getting
don't
up there
know.
now. I mean, this will be the good time to do it now because honestly, if they did a sequel, it would probably be better than the first one because they know how to do movies now. And this movie was really, really campy, and writing is very sophisticated now. Writing is a lot better on TV
This
shows than
article
movies.
is saying that they're calling him. They're saying that he is not the true main character of the story. That he's the sidekick.
I can believe it. I mean, it's Wayne. Is that the main character?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, because I
Wayne and
mean,
his.
Wayne does the fight scenes. I mean, think about it. Jack comes in with a machine gun and shoots up in the sky, and a bunch of rocks and boulders fall down on his head and knocks him out. Then there's another scene where he uses up every single bullet in the gun. But for the rest of the scene, he's running around with the gun. There's no bullets left in the gun. Most of the time,
Yep.
some character would have threw the gun down or used the gun to hit somebody. No, he didn't do that. He just ran around with the gun out in front, like he had bullets or something. That
Yeah, it was interesting.
Now, if this movie came out nowadays just like this, I I definitely would have tortured this movie. It would have been so horrible to see something like this now come out. But because it came out a long time ago, you kind of take that into consideration, and it's nostalgic. So, what grade would you give this movie?
Um, I had to think about it a lot because I'm right there with you. I agree. The time of this movie, it wasn't a bad movie, and I remember watching this as a kid, going like, "This movie's crazy. It has a little bit of karate. It's funny." So I think I'm just gonna give it a solid B.
Oh wow, that
I
is
mean, I'd rewatch it. I know
mhm.
my family would think I'm crazy, but
Yes, I 100% agree with you. Um, I I, I will rewatch it. I'm going to go with a C.
yeah,
Now,
that's
if
better than I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna tear it up.
oh no 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 like I said, man, like this is a movie that we saw back in the day. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it's so ridiculous that I can't take it serious. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my family earlier. I'm like, this is one of those movies. Like, it's almost so bad it's good.
Yeah,
And I know that sounds weird, but
yeah.
I've seen movies like that where I'm like, okay, I get it. Like,
So
yeah, I
I,
see what
I
you're
I
trying to
think
do.
what saves this movie is the comedy. If there was
Yes.
no comedy in this movie at all, if it was a straight action movie, serious, this thing probably would have sucked. It
Yeah.
probably would have sucked really, really bad. And I
Because
think the
then you'd be thinking the whole time, like, they're really trying to make this movie serious. Like, wow.
yeah, yeah,
Just
exactly.
let it be what it's gonna be. Let it be
It's
funny.
especially when you got things like the one storm guy blowing himself up, the little ball that was rolling around with all that. You remember back in the day, we had those balls. I think they were called mad balls. They were about this big. They were almost like a squishy ball or whatever, and they had
Yeah.
the characters had
Yeah.
different faces and stuff. That's what that thing reminded me of. Was one of those
Yep.
things. That's what it reminded me of. So.
That's how they should have squeezed that thing so his eyes popped out.
Oh man, I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to see that. That man, they have so much goop all over their hands. That would have been disgusting. All right, man. So next week, we're gonna watch Fist of Fury. I went back to look to see because I know we did a lot of Bruce Lee movies. I'm surprised we didn't watch this movie already, Fist of Fury, but I
It's a
did
good
not
one.
see it. Did we see the Chinese Connection?
I don't think so.
Those are two Bruce Lee movies that we haven't seen. Okay.
If we did, it was you and Mike who did it anyway, so we could do it again.
It does. I kind of think Chinese Connection has two different names. And if the Chinese Connection has two different names, then we might have, well, at least me and Mike might have watched it under the original name. I'm not sure. I got to look into that. But we'll watch Fist of Fury next. And the reason I picked that is because um, I think Donnie Yen, he does the sequel to this movie,
Okay.
and that is Legend of the Fist, and that's on Netflix. So I figured we'll watch this one first, and then the next one. Donnie Yen must
All right.
really be a huge Bruce Lee fan. He must be.
Well, I think there's just so many connections because of the teacher,
Mm.
and the rivalry.
Hmm.
So I figure that they have the similar style, even though some will say, Jet Kundo is better and Kung Fu is better and whatever. So I like watching them both. So I'm good with it.
Cool. So we'll watch those are our next two, and then after that, Angel will be pretty happy. And the reason I'm doing that also, Joe, is because I want to give people time. I know we want to get to Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai comes out this weekend. It comes out Friday, and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
I
watch it.
know
I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna give it a day. I'm gonna watch it again.
I'm going to definitely watch it also, but I want to
Mhm.
give people time to watch it before we just start talking about it and ruin it for people who want to watch it.
Yeah,
So I figured that we'll start reviewing Cobra Kai at the end of December, beginning of January, go through, and that should take us. We should be able to do the final episode at AKA. So that should be
yeah,
fun.
that'll be good. Hey, are you gonna watch the Jake Paul fight, or
I
as some want to call it, the Jake Paul murder?
Man, I don't think anybody. I think it's another one of those things that it's not a real fight. I don't
I
think
agree.
I just think it's just going to be a sparring match. I don't think neither one of these guys are going to really try and knock each other out. I
Well,
think they're
I'm
just
glad that it's not something I got to pay for because I already got Netflix.
mhm.
So if it was somewhere else to watch, I wouldn't watch it.
like what
But
Floyd does. Like Floyd does these little exhibition fights when he's fighting a bunch of nobodies all the time.
yeah.
And
But Floyd put his time in, man. He did what he had to do.
I'm
Jake
not
Paul
knocking.
calling.
No, well,
He's telling people, telling Mike like I'm taking over. I'm the sport, and he's not. He hasn't really.
so
When you're fighting,
exactly,
when
exactly.
you're fighting older guys, or you're fighting
MMA
people
guy,
who this
MMA
is
wrestlers.
MMA wrestlers, like to me that you should knock them out because you're a boxer. And then you fight a couple of older boxers. Fight a boxer in his prime at your age.
They're not going to
Okay.
do that. They're not going to do that, man,
I
because
know.
that
But then
they're going to ruin everything for themselves if they did
and I'm
that.
not mad at him. Make your money. Okay, good for you. I give him his props.
But don't call
But
yourself a
don't go and
boxer.
say don't say you're the next big thing. Don't compare yourself to Mike Tyson. Okay. Everybody paid money to watch Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Everybody paid the pay-per-view. Everybody went and watched him. He got $30 million for one fight when he was 18 years old. Okay, when you do that, come and talk to us. But until then, this is not good for you. If you get knocked out, you look stupid. If you win the fight, you still look stupid because you knocked out Mike Tyson at 58. Who cares?
I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be any knockouts at all.
Uh,
I just think it's just going to go the distance and
I really want Mike Tyson to knock his ass out hard.
if this was a
I
few
know it
years
probably won't happen.
if this was let's say this was 96, 97, 98, yeah, I would want Mike to do that. I think this is business for Mike. I don't think Mike is going to plan to knock him out or anything like that, man. I don't know, man. I just think they're running game on everybody, you know. But
Yeah, I believe it.
I don't
We'll
know. I
see.
might watch it. I don't know, man. What time does it even come on?
8 o'clock.
I wonder if they're going to have any fights before then, and then
A couple, I think.
yeah. So they'll probably fight about 10 or 11, like a normal boxing match. If they do that, I don't know. Maybe it depends. Depends what I'm doing, man. Depends what I don't even know what I'm doing Saturday. So I know
For sure.
Sunday I got the MSKC banquet. So we got 5 students getting awards. So I'm pretty happy. So give you
That'll
guys
be
an
fun.
update on that. I'll give you guys an update on that next week. Anything
Sounds
else,
good.
Joe?
No, man, I'm good.
All right, cool. Everyone stay safe, stay strong. We will holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.